Clean lower third. Good day, everyone. Today, I want to share a personal experience I had recently. An experience I'm calling when I was stuck. It's something simple, but I believe it's also something many of us can relate to. Yesterday, I started my day with a clear and structured plan. I had already thought through how I wanted my day to go. My intention was to stay at home until 12 p.m., get some things done, and then go to the library to continue working in a more focused environment. Everything seemed fine at the beginning. I felt organized. I felt prepared. I even started my morning with devotion, which usually helps me feel grounded and ready for the day. But after that, something unexpected happened. Instead of moving forward with my plans, I found myself feeling completely stuck. At first, it was hard to explain. It wasn't just one feeling. It was a combination of many things happening at once. Physically, I felt tired and weak, like I didn't have the energy to do anything. At the same time, I felt restless, like I should be doing something. I was hungry, but I couldn't bring myself to eat. I felt sleepy, but I couldn't allow myself to rest. And the reason I couldn't rest was because of this strong feeling of guilt inside me. This voice telling me that sleeping at that time would be wrong, that I should be doing something more productive instead. Emotionally, I felt overwhelmed and a little sad, though I couldn't fully explain why. Mentally, I felt blocked. Even though I had a plan and knew exactly what I needed to do, I couldn't take the first step. It felt like being trapped in between two states, wanting to act, but not having the strength or clarity to begin. As time passed, I kept trying to push myself. I would tell myself, just get up and start something, do anything. But even then, nothing really happened. I would start something small and stop. I would think about my plan, but I couldn't follow through. And before I knew it, hours had gone by. Eventually, it was already afternoon, and I hadn't done the things I had planned. I didn't go to the library. I didn't accomplish what I set out to do. At the end of the day, it felt like the entire day had been taken away from me. That feeling was very frustrating, because the truth is, I didn't choose to waste the day. I didn't wake up wanting to be unproductive. I had good intentions. I had a plan, but somehow, I still ended up stuck. So later, I started reflecting on what really happened. I asked myself, what does it mean to be stuck? At first, it might look like laziness. It might look like poor time management. But from my experience, it felt much deeper than that. Being stuck can come from physical exhaustion, when your body simply doesn't have the energy. It can come from emotional weight, when you're feeling overwhelmed, even if you don't fully understand why. And it can also come from mental pressure, when you expect so much from yourself that even starting feels difficult. One thing that stood out to me the most was the role of guilt. Instead of helping me become productive, guilt actually made things worse. It stopped me from resting, but it didn't give me the energy to work either. So I ended up in a place where I couldn't rest, and I couldn't act. I was just stuck. And I think that's something many people experience, even if they don't talk about it. There are days when everything feels heavy, when even simple tasks feel difficult, and when no matter how much you want to move forward, you just can't. So the question becomes, what should we do in those moments? Looking back, I realized that maybe I approached the situation the wrong way. Instead of forcing myself or judging myself, I could have responded differently. Maybe I needed to listen to my body and allow myself to rest, even if it was just for a short time. Maybe I needed to eat something small to regain energy. Maybe I needed to let go of the idea that the whole plan had to be followed perfectly, and instead focus on doing just one small thing. Because sometimes, starting small is what helps us get unstuck. Another thing I learned is the importance of being kind to ourselves. We often speak to ourselves in a very harsh way, especially when we feel like we are failing. But that harshness doesn't always help us improve. Sometimes it keeps us stuck even longer. What if instead, we gave ourselves permission to pause? What if we accepted that not every day will go according to plan? What if we allowed ourselves to reset and start again, even if it's later in the day? I believe that would make a big difference. Because the truth is, being stuck is part of being human. It happens to everyone at some point. The difference is not whether we get stuck, but how we respond when it happens. Do we criticize ourselves and stay stuck? Or do we pause, understand what we need, and gently move forward again? If I could go back to yesterday, I wouldn't try to force myself as much. I would slow down, take care of my basic needs, and then try to restart my day in a simpler, more realistic way. And moving forward, that's what I want to practice. So, in conclusion, my experience taught me that being stuck is not the end of productivity, and it's not a sign of failure. It's a signal, a sign that something needs attention, whether it's rest, care, or a change in approach. And when we recognize that, we can begin again, one small step at a time. Thank you.